Today, we are pulling back the curtain on a business that's, well, it's hiding right under our noses. We're talking about an opportunity to take a simple, everyday metal and transform it into a key ingredient that powers entire industries, with the potential to rake in over 1 crore in revenue. But it all starts with a really simple question. I want you to think for a second about the brilliant sparkle of a firecracker lighting up the night sky, and then think about that sleek, metallic finish on your car. I mean, they couldn't be more different, right? But what if I told you they share one single, powerful secret ingredient?
Yep, the answer is aluminum powder. This fine, silvery dust is the unsung hero behind so many products we use every single day. And it's not just some raw material, it's the key to a massive, multi-chord business opportunity.
Okay, let's cut right to the chase, to the part that really matters, the money. We're going to break down the actual financials of setting up your very own aluminum powder manufacturing plant. And trust me, the numbers they're pretty mind-blowing. First things first, the investment. So to get this whole project up and running, and I'm talking machinery, raw materials, working capital, the whole shebang, you're looking at a total investment of just over 21 lakh rupees. Now, I want you to hold on to that number, because what's coming next, that's the real game changer.
And here it is. With that 21 lakh rupee investment, the potential annual sales turnover, once you're at full capacity, is a whopping 1.45 crore rupees. You see that gap? The huge difference between the initial cost and the potential revenue? That's exactly why this is such an incredible opportunity.
Now, this isn't some fly-by-night trend. Nope. The market for aluminium powder is growing at a really solid 8 to 10% every single year. You know what that means? It means there's consistent, rising demand, which makes this a super stable business for the long haul. So, you're probably asking, okay, that's great, but how do you actually make this stuff? How does a solid block of aluminum get turned into a fine and valuable powder? Let's demystify the process. It's actually way simpler than you'd think. But before we get into the how, let's talk about why this powder is so valuable. I mean, look at this list. Its uses are incredibly diverse. It's the magic in our fireworks, the sheen in our paints, it's in car parts, high-tech welding, even explosives. This amazing versatility is what fuels the massive demand we were just talking about. All right, this is where the magic happens, broken down into 4 easy steps. First, you take solid aluminum blocks or ingots and melt them down in a super hot furnace. Then you pull that liquid metal through a tiny little opening. As it flows out, bam, you blast it with a high-pressure jet of hot air. That impact instantly shatters the liquid metal into tiny little droplets that cool and solidify into powder. That's called atomization. From there, you just collect it and sort it by size. Simple as that. Okay, we've seen the incredible numbers, we've understood the process. Now let's get practical. What do you actually need to build this business from scratch? This is your action plan. So let's talk about your main shopping list, the machinery. You're going to need a furnace to melt the metal, a ball mill for grinding, a hot air chamber, and ducts to collect the powder. The total bill for all the essential equipment, it comes out to about 12 lakh rupees. This is the biggest piece of your initial investment pie. Next, where are you going to put all this stuff? Well, you'll need a decent-sized space, somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 square feet, to house your workshop, office, and all your inventory. And to power all that machinery we just talked about, you're looking at a 30-horsepower connection. Now, you can't do this all by yourself, but you don't need a giant corporation either. A small, lean team of just 9 people is really all you need to get started. You've got a mix of skilled operators, a manager, some support staff. It's a really manageable team size for a new business. And of course, the paperwork. But hey, don't let this list scare you. It's not as bad as it looks. The really crucial ones you have to get are your GST registration and a no objection certificate from the State Pollution Control Board. Get those sorted out early and you're well on your way. Now we get to my favorite part. Let's decode the path to profit. We've seen the big numbers, but how does the business actually perform year after year? Let's dive into the key financial details that show just how incredibly solid this project is. Just look at this growth. In your very first year, even operating at just 40% of your capacity while you're learning the ropes, the projected net profit after taxes is over 3 lakh rupees. By year 3, that nearly doubles. And by year 5, you're looking at a net profit of almost 9 lakh rupees. That is what I call strong, sustainable growth. Let's talk about a super important idea called the break-even point. Put simply, it's the milestone where your business has paid for all its bills for the month. Every single gram of powder you sell after hitting that point, that's pure profit.
And here is the magic number for this business. The break-even point is just 31%. Think about that. You only need to run your plant at less than a third of its total capacity to start making money. That gives you a massive safety net and makes becoming profitable achievable really, really fast. Okay, here's another fancy term that banks and investors absolutely love: DSCR. All it really means is, hey, do you make enough cash to easily pay back your loans? If your score's above 1, that's a good sign. It means you've got more than enough income to cover all your debts.
And for this aluminum powder project, the average DSCR is 2.51. That is an incredibly healthy number. It basically screams to any bank or investor that for every 1 rupee you owe in loan payments, you're generating 2.5 rupees of income to pay for it. That makes this project extremely low risk and very attractive for getting a loan. So let's recap. We've looked at the market, the manufacturing process, the step-by-step blueprint, and the profits. Let's bring it all home. Why does this specific opportunity matter so much? What's the final takeaway here? Here is the final pitch, all boiled down. You've got a product with massive demand, both here and abroad. You've got a low initial investment with a ridiculously high revenue potential. There's not a lot of competition from other small-scale players, and the financials show a clear, low-risk road to becoming profitable. I mean, it seriously checks all the boxes. And that brings us to the final question, and this one is for you. We've laid out the entire blueprint, the numbers are crystal clear, the process is straightforward, and the demand is very, very real. So, is this the hidden gem, the multi-core opportunity you've been searching for? The next move is all yours.